Mental health, the social determinants of mental health. I have prepared a wonderful transformative lesson for my students and enjoyed it thoroughly in my global health course here at the university. And when going over and reflecting even my own life, I know there's a book titled Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but I could give account for a rich mom and poor mom from my own personal experience. My birth mother, she was adopted. She struggled immensely with low self-esteem because of that. She felt rejected, although her adopted parents loved her deeply and treated her wonderfully, and were my grandparents, and also were outstanding and so kind and loving and generous to me throughout my life. And I cried like a baby when they died, my grandparents. And they basically played the role as parents to me when my mother was out either getting drunk, chasing men, in a mental institution, being rehabilitated after substance abuse, and so many different struggles that she had, all of which were grounded and founded upon her own inner insecurity, emotional insecurity, and lack of identity. You have to have a strong identity and sense of purpose to have a destiny and live with purity, and that's where she went awry. And after my mom was killed by an 18-year-old drunk driver, as she herself at 2 o'clock in the morning ran across the street in Orlando on Oak Ridge Road, probably drunk, an 18-year-old ran her over, sadly, with he also being drunk, contributory negligence. And I saw the video from the police at the point of death, and it was sad to behold. But nonetheless, it was not surprising when she did die, sadly premature, that it was because of, once again, her shaky foundation and her insecurity, how she would bounce from various guys in relationships and was not stable inwardly or emotionally. Conversely, alternatively, my wonderful stepmother, who is my mom in my heart and mind, who did the job of a mother when my father and her took custody of me in the age 5th grade and onward, she had a strong sense of identity and purpose. Though her mom and dad oftentimes traveled, her dad was a salesman and very business savvy and a wonderful communicator and an editor and an author, but yet sometimes not even home. And she was being oftentimes raised by her grandma, sadly, as I was, but yet she had a strong sense of identity and purpose and lived with purity and became an educator for 31 years and fulfilled her destiny and made a great impact upon humanity and her students for generations. And many are still friends with her on Facebook and follow her wise posts and words even to this day. And my mom, my beloved stepmother, who raised me in the absence of my biological mother, who died prematurely, and took over that role, she was a great light and source of inspiration and guidance and hope and love and comfort, and was continually there for me to be a point of navigation and direction, and lived a wonderful life with a beautiful example of living with purpose, living with perimeters, living with an internal compass, and harnessing herself and her emotions and her actions to not go awry or be wayward, but to live purposefully. She works in the garden and gets her hands dirty. She takes care of her family. She's a great cook, a wonderful person, very social, involved in the community in so many different ways, and has friends even from her elementary school years when she was yet so young, even in 1st and 2nd grade. That's because of her strong sense of identity, which her father obviously instilled in her. And unfortunately, my other birth mom, who was dealing with rejection, she went awry because of her lack of identity, or lack of a sense of certainty, which we as parents have to instill in our children, and we have to help them cultivate that inward assurance and affirmation and recognition and understanding of who they are, so they don't have to look elsewhere or outward for that. And it's sad when young ladies look for affirmation from young men based on their appearance, which can oftentimes, diminish over the years. Beauty is not outward and lasting forever. So you have to cultivate beauty on the inside. And as we do, and we realize who we really are from the inside out, and we live with purity and purpose, then we can be powerful and influential in the earth and not live inwardly or emotionally broke, busted, and disgusted, but we cultivate that emotional intelligence and a strong sense of certainty and awareness whereby we can live with power and purpose and have well-being and mental and emotional health. So that is a great and important topic for young and old ladies alike, and young men and men of all ages. So as people seek to be influencers and look to find out who they are and their identity, go down inwardly, dig deeply, seek to reconnect with your Creator in prayer. Go back to your family and those who love you. And first and foremost, love yourself. You're made in the image and the likeness of God. As my father said when he was only in first grade, when his teacher asked, "How many of you love yourself?" he raised his hand. Other kids laughed, but the teacher replied, "Yes, you should love yourself, because we love others as we love ourselves. And if you can't love yourself, how can you sustain love for anybody else?" So to truly and unconditionally love others, you have to likewise love and accept and tolerate and be aware of yourself and your own failures and strengths and weaknesses, and yet love yourself and be your own cheerleader. And as you do, you'll arise and shine and do great things with your life, and God will bless you and bring the right people alongside of you to walk with you and to be a blessing and enjoy excuse me, my mouth's a bit dry, and to enjoy and to celebrate the journey of life with you.